Hey guys, welcome to a Codex review. We are now reviewing Salamanders.
Straight into it. I like this a
We're
lot.
both blown away about this, aren't we?
I like it a lot. If any guys who may have seen our other recent Codex release, you may know that I'm a bit downhearted about the Imperial Fists. This has more than made up for it. Really excited about these guys. We get lots of green paint and Salamanders. If I can.
Hero.
Yeah, I already got the one. Quick brief on the buff of these guys, on the lore. So Primarch is Vulcan, and obviously the home world is Nocturne, which is a death world, but they are currently based on a monastery on the moon of Promethean, and this is obviously where you get your Prometheus supplies and what have you. Burn. We like it. 18th Legion. These guys have a bit of a quirk because of the surroundings that they live on in Nocturne. They all have ebon skin and red eyes, so they stand out. In fact, I think it caused a ruckus on one planet where they freaked the locals out, I read earlier. They're big on burning things. They have a Promethean cult, so anything that's fire, burn it, and burn it again. They roughly stick to the Codex Astartes doctrines, and as fact they deviate. They've only got 7 companies to run with, and these guys historically were very much also instrumental in the Armageddon campaign as well. And we're having a quick chat off camera just beforehand, and one of the things that you've said was these guys are the humane of the humane Marines, really.
It's not a job, is it? It's a lifestyle.
Yeah, so these guys really are, really do wear the moniker good guys, should we say.
Yeah, they are what Marines should be, what all Marines should aspire to be.
Yeah. So even from the lore side, very impressed so far. Just quickly touch on their Forge Father, who's the commander, is Vulcan Hestan, and also we have Adrax Agatorn, who's the 3rd company captain, as the named characters in this codex. The whole reason to enter for these guys is close quarters burn, and surprisingly somewhat hand to hand as well on these guys. So
yeah.
let's dive straight in.
I think you can't sniff at Marines being hand to hand at the minute. They're just beasts to me.
Ramped. So we'll go straight into
loads of nice pictures, loads of awesome stories and stuff in this one. If you like the stories, it's definitely a worthwhile book just for them.
Yeah.
Really.
Good flavour on these guys, very good flavour.
Yeah.
So we'll jump straight into the captains. Vulcan Hestan, who's the commander. He is 130 points. Do you want to spit some stats?
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. His model hasn't changed. His model is still the badass with a spear and a sweet ass cloak. His stats are very much similar to what you'll have seen in any of the other ones. 2s to hit, 5 wounds, 4 attacks. But it all kind of culminates very nicely with this guy. So he's hitting you on 2s, which is awesome. He's rerolling 1s, standard. His Spear of Vulcan gives him +2 to strength, so he has strength 6. But his Warlord trait is also +2 strength, so he's then got strength 8. So a free Power Fist or Thunderhammer, respectively, whichever one you fancy. -2 AP and D3 damage. So the D3 damage is a bit hit and miss, because you can obviously get a lot more people at the same point cost these days that do a guaranteed 3. But it's the fact that he's got strength 8, hitting you on 2s, reroll 1s.
Yeah, that's big. Well, you max out at about 15, yeah, potential wounds. Not bad.
He's a beast. He's not a beast. He's got 4 attacks, and he's got staying power, some real staying power. 5 wounds, which is okay, and then he's got a 2+ normal save, a 3+ invulnerable save. Because this boy's got a mantle. I'm not going to pronounce what it is, but it's a mantle.
Cassaire's mantle. There you are. Also, your other ability is Forge Father. You can reroll hit rolls, and you can reroll wound rolls for attacks made with flame or melt weapons by models in friendly salamander units, whilst their unit is within 6 inches of this model.
Yeah.
Burn.
It's okay. I mean, you're not rerolling hit rolls of flamers anyway.
Yeah.
Because
it's not a 1
auto hit.
roll.
But reroll. I mean, if you got a Stern Guard squad anywhere near, I know we're going old school because no one's got Stern Guard anymore. But you pack them with 4 melters, and then you run down the pitch with Vulcan. All of a sudden, you reroll all hits with your melters, which is pretty awesome.
Naughty.
Yeah, the rest of his stuff is just a bit okay. He gets his own little flamer, strength 5, -1, 1 damage, d6 assault. So, yeah. He's nice. At 130 points, it's the fact that he's got 2+ save, 3+ invulnerable save, and he's wounding, hitting you on 2s, real on 1s, and unless you're beastly, he's wounding you on 2s. So,
That's good.
you can't really get much better for 130 points in a character.
You kind of stick at that. Value for money.
He is.
Yeah. And obviously, third company captain is Adrax Agatorn. And
he's a new model. He's the badass with a big hammer.
He's got a couple of tasty. Well, what I'm thinking, my version of tasty. It might be someone else's, completely different. Is Unto the Anvil. Add 1 to the wound rolls for attacks made with melee weapons by models in friendly Salamander units, whilst their unit is within 6 inches of this model, and if that unit has made a charge move, was charged, or performed a heroic intervention this turn. Yeah, I like that. I think that's handy. Certainly when you're trying to pan those melee attacks out and you're in close quarters, you've done all your burning, you've charged, and you're getting that strike attack. Don't forget you get Angels of Death there as well. You get additional attacks between with that.
Yep.
Yeah, it really pumps in that. It's kind of like a big hit strike. Like it, really like it.
So his hammer's called the Malleus Noctum. So it's a standard thunder hammer apart from, so it's ×2 strength, -3 AP, but 4 damage.
That's tasty.
It's very tasty. But -1 hit, so he's hit on 3s.
Yeah.
Real 1s.
Yeah, I like that. That is good.
It just means that actually, if you're going up to a knight and you're knocking on the door, hitting on 3s, reroll on 1s, you're actually, if you were charged, or performed a heroic intervention, you're like +1 to wound, which means you're wounding on 3s. Can't sniff at that. It's the little buffs that just take them a 50-50 to a bit more.
Yeah, just pushes it a bit further, pushes the envelope. He's also got the Aridian Drake and Hide cloak.
They love their cloaks.
Yeah, like a nice cloak, don't they? Must have some good tailors on Nocturne, tell you. When resolving an attack against this model, reduce the damage characteristic of the weapon used by 1 to a minimum 1 for the attack. You want to get this guy hand to hand. He's going to get hit back, isn't he, if he doesn't clear the field, and that certainly helps make sure that you get another turn of him swinging, basically.
Yeah, 2+ save, 4+ invulnerable, 6 wounds, so it kind of gives you a little bit of staying power that he probably needs, because he hasn't got that 3+ invulnerable save that Vulcan has. So, for me, it doesn't really cost effective. I'd much rather have a 3+ invulnerable save than a -1 damage, but at the same time, it is literally...
It's like a counterbalance, isn't it?
It's situational, isn't it?
Yeah.
That could come in handy massively, or at the same time, you could just be like, I wish I had 3+ invulnerable save.
Yeah, it's currently kicking a 4+ as well. Yeah.
He's got Rise of Battle, like we mentioned, so reroll 1s.
So, those are the characters, which
Which would you take? So, Adrax is 140 points. Yeah, it's not bad. And Vulcan is 130 points. If you had to choose one, which one would it be?
I would say Vulcan. Because of his ability to forge farther, and I think he's just got a bit more about. I really do. I think he's got a bit more possible staying power. Saying that on the balance, Adrax, he's going to be there with that Drake and Hide cloak. He's really going to stick around. So it'd be interesting to see a fight between these two, actually. What do you reckon?
I think it's all in the dice rolls then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Vulcan might have the edge when it comes to hitting and wounding, but it's D3 damage, so it's not guaranteed. Adrax, it's 4 flat. So you need just 2 to go through and you're dead.
Well, luckily enough, they'll never be fighting each other, hopefully. So stick them both on.
I don't know, mate.
Give some problems.
Someone might raid someone else's fridge and they might kick right off.
Abilities.
Promethean Cult. Steve's a fan.
Yeah. Whilst the tactical doctrine is active, when resolving an attack made with a flame or melt weapon by a model with this ability, add 1 to the wound roll. That is like, yeah, I'm just going to burn it a bit. I'm going to stand here, I'm going to get within charge range, I'm going to absolutely put melt a fire, flame fire on it. I'm going to try and max the damage potential that's out there, and then I'm going to charge you. And I'm a little bit naughty in that hand. Love that. Absolutely love that. Love the flavour.
Yeah, you know what? It gives Beta Strike a whole new meaning. So if you drop a couple of guys down, you're a tank, you get a couple of shots off with your melters, and you think, oh, it's a 50-50 because they have to hit, they have to wound. It just means that it gives you that little bit extra to wound when you're trying to hit a tank. If you drop a couple of guys down and drop pod, something like that, or just some boys pop up and then off they go. You know what? It is tournament worthy.
Yeah. It's certainly. I think you might see a few of these in the meta. Certainly.
You got to play your cards right, but it's there.
Yeah.
100% there.
Warlord traits.
You were impressed with literally right here on his daft little white or yellow cards. He's got read all best traits so far.
I like them. I really do. They're just. I picked through the Imperial Fist Codex and it was like, I'm struggling to find one that I really like. With these, it was like, there's too much going off.
With this one, it's like, why can't I take 6 warlords?
Can I have all of them, please? Thank you very much.
So I'll go over them dead quick. Anvil of Strength is what Vulcan has, is +2 strength. That's how he gets strength 8. It is very good with his weapon combined. Miraculous Constitution is one of my favourite personally.
Nice.
When this warlord would lose a wound, roll a d6. On a 6, that wound is not lost. That's okay. But then, in addition, at the start of your movement phase, this warlord regains 1 lost wound. That's free. Never give up is a bit met. At the start of the battle round, you can select one friendly Salamanders unit within 6 inches of this warlord until the end of that battle round. That unit has the Defenders of Humanity ability. Basically makes summon troops. Okay, whatever. Forge Master is also a nice one. Add 2 to the toughness characteristic of your warlord.
I ain't going nowhere, said he.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Lord of Fire. You can reroll the dice to determine the number of attacks made with flame weapons by friendly Salamanders units whilst they're within 6 inches of this warlord. I think this is very situational. I would not choose that over any of the other ones so far. Patient and Determined. Awesome. Once per shooting phase and or once per fight phase, when resolving an attack made by this warlord, do not roll a hit roll. It automatically scores a hit. You run someone with a Thunderhammer or Power Fist, it's guaranteed 1 hit. You're going to wound on 2s on the next roll. Yeah. You're not going to get that whiff. Everyone fears the whiff. You're not getting it.
I've got to say, hand on, they're the best warlord traits I've read so far in the codexes.
They're all naughty.
Yeah, that would give you a problem choosing one actually. It really would.
I don't know. You can flavour it. If you want your warlord to be a beast, you give him +2 toughness. If he's already got a decent weapon, you give him +2 strength. Because then it just bumps it up.
Yeah.
If you fear the whiff, you give it patient and determined, so you guarantee that 1 hit. And for me, I want staying power on a warlord because I don't really want to give my opponent that +1 victory point. Then you go with Miraculous Constitution, which is obviously the 6+, you don't lose a wound, and you gain a wound at the beginning of every one of your movement phases.
You really like that, don't you, Miraculous Constitution?
I think that's probably a little overpowered.
Okay. FAQ. Possibly.
It's probably not overpowered, to be fair. Because once your warlord's in combat, he's in combat, and you've got him there 9 times out of 10, rather than him being situationally there. Relics.
Yeah.
You've noted a couple down.
Yeah, Drake Smiter, model equipped with a Thunderhammer only. This relic replaces the Thunderhammer and has the following profile. It's a melee weapon, it's strength ×2, -4 AP, 3 damage. When resolving an attack made with this weapon, subtract 1 from the hit roll, and on a modified wound roll of 6, add 3 to the damage characteristic of this weapon for the attack. I like it. Yeah, okay, you've got to roll a 6, but all of a sudden that becomes 6 damage. That's nice. I like that. Judge and jury, yeah.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah.
He's on the fence there, isn't he? He's on the fence.
I don't like anything where you've got to rely on a 1 in 6 chance, and that is very much a 1 in 6. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you want to go in there and you want to absolutely smash the crap out of something and you're good at 1 in 6s, sweet, it's for you, take it. But I think if you're running there and you're really relying on that 6 to wound and you don't get it, this is the wrong choice to begin with.
Ever the optimist.
You charged him with the wrong guy.
Wrath of Prometheus.
You like your ranged weapons, don't you?
Yeah. Wrath of Prometheus. Model with a bolt gun, a mastercrafted bolt gun only. This relic replaces a bolt gun or mastercrafted bolt gun and has the following profile. It's 30-inch range, rapid fire 1, strength 5, -2, damage 3. It's nice. I like these souped bolt guns.
So that actually combined with patient and determined just means, so say for argument's sake you didn't take Vulcan or what are the guys called?
Adrax.
Yep, that's a homie. It just means it's a guaranteed hit with that bolt rifle. So it's strength 5, so if you're hitting, I don't know, whatever you're hitting, it's a -2 through damage. It's automatic hit.
Tactical doctrine is there as well.
Then again,
-3
do you want that automatic hit if you're hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s?
It's a one-off. It's nice for a one-off. Yeah. Might get you through a squeak. You never know. Special.
They're the only ones that stood out for you?
Yeah, they're the only ones that stood out for me.
I really like Salamander's Mantle. So if you Salamander's Mantle, for argument's sake, is when resolving an attack made against a model with this relic, subtract 1 from the wound roll. You're just like, whatever. But you add that with Miraculous Constitution, might have mentioned it like that. So obviously it's a 6 plus feel no pain, and you regain 1 lost wound. It kind of just, it's another factor in reducing the chance of you taking wounds. So you add that with an invulnerable save, a decent invulnerable save, for argument's sake, let's call it a 4 plus invulnerable save, so you're negating 50% of all the wounds that come into you. And then if it's a big wound weapon, you're just minusing the chances again to wound you. It's less saves you have to take, and then if you take a couple of wounds, you're again, argument's sake, 50% of those wounds back on your next turn. If you didn't get the 6 the turn prior, which gives your Warlord staying power for 100 points. That's how much your Warlord will be with them 2 things. 100 points. And it's your Warlord, so the dude's not getting that VP.
It's a very valid point.
I like little things
articulated.
like that. It's the tiny little things that make one character feel very OP, but then he might not punch back very hard. He might be very average at punching back, but if all you want is to not give that VP away, the two free options there that just give you that.
Well, it's logically though, you can only do something back if you're on the pitch to be able to do something back, and that's where that really plays into, isn't it?
It's nice.
It's not good if he's in your box, put it away.
Nice.
No good. Specialist war gear. Dragon range bolts. Kind of a fun value on this. Do you want to read that out there?
No, because it's 1,000 words. You read it.
Dragon Rage bolts. When you give a model this relic, select 1 bolt weapon. See Codex Space Marines. That model is equipped with. When the bearer shoots with that weapon, you can choose for it to fire a Dragon Rage bolt. If you do, you can only make 1 attack with that weapon. But if that attack hits, make D6 wound rolls instead of 1. Each successful wound roll results in a wound that must be allocated. When resolving that attack, the target does not receive the benefit of cover to its saving throw, and that weapon has a damage characteristic of 1 and an armor penetration characteristic of -1 for that attack, which in tactical doctrine would go to -2. That is turning a bolt gun, for me, into a shotgun, basically. And I like that flavour.
You could add that, actually, to the Warlord trait we just mentioned, Patient and Determined, and get that free hit. So it's a guaranteed hit, and then it is guaranteed D6 wounds.
Right. Yeah, that works.
And it's not overpowered because it's only -1, or like you say, -2 if you're in the tactical.
There's some nice little synergies in here, isn't
Yeah,
there?
and they're not overpowered, so it just makes a bolt gun something to fear.
Yeah. Like, well, yeah. Do like it. Do like it. Okay. any of those?
Promethean plate I like. When resolving an attack made against a model with this relic, an unmodified wound roll of 1, 2, or 3 always fails, irrespective of any abilities that weapon or the model making that attack may have.
That's your staying power again, isn't it?
I like the staying power,
Staying
and
power.
these guys seem to have a lot of it.
Yeah.
So back to what I was saying about the Salamander's Mantle and the Warlord trait, which gives you an additional option to give your character, or not even your main character, an additional character that you want to stay around, just that 50-50 chance that he's going to be okay.
Yeah. It's really nice. It's nice.
They seem to have a lot of staying power.
Yeah.
Stratagems. What jumped out at you, my friend?
I started reading them and I was like, I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Yeah, there's obviously with some of the stratagems, as we're saying in the Codex, the back end of them seem to be fairly generic, just tuned towards the chapter itself. Some of the good ones that I've seen though, Flamecraft. For example, use this stratagem in your shooting phase. When a Salamander's unit from your army is chosen to shoot with, until the end of that phase, when a model in that unit shoots with a flame weapon, do not roll to determine the number of attacks made with that weapon. Instead, the maximum number of attacks are made with that weapon, i.e., e.g., 6 attacks are made with a heavy D6 weapon. That's just maximising that flame capacity for me. So if you're getting guys up and they're getting within range to pull off a charge in the shooting phase, you pull that out, right, everything's hitting with the flames, and then you're in with a charge and you've got your staying power.
It's got to be in your shooting phase, so you can't do it in your opponent's combat phase.
No, I'm saying if you were to move up, if you were to move into range, get ready for the charge.
I'm not a big fan. I mean, it's 2 CP. You could use just a reroll on 1 CP if you roll one badly on one of them. You're probably not going to use more than 3 flamers in a turn. But if you do want all them 3 flamers and you want them guaranteed maximum hit, awesome.
Yeah.
Can't argue against it. That's 18 hits rather than 1d6 times 3.
Another one I've picked out, Strength of the Primarch, 1 command point. Use this stratagem at the start of the fight phase, select 1 Salamander's unit from your army. Until the end of that phase, add 1 to the strength characteristics of models in that unit, and when resolving an attack made with a melee weapon by a model in that unit, on an unmodified wound roll of 6, double the damage characteristics of the weapon for that attack. Yes, we like. So if he's hitting with his 4, I'd drag sit with his 4 on that.
Wow.
You think about that, some of the damage output that's
I think that has many applications. Immediately when I read that, I just thought, okay, give Space Marines +1 strength, so if they're going up against other Space Marines, you're wounding on 3s. If you're against Primaris, yes, you might auto-kill them because it's double the damage on a 6. But you could actually throw that on characters.
Mm-hmm. Technically, you could punch out with 1 hit, 8 damage. If he's got how many attacks? 4, 5 attacks?
5.
Wow.
Wow, wow.
Wow, wow, wee, wow. There's that. And for 1 command point.
Yeah,
me likey.
Cheap as chips.
Me likey.
But it's still relying on that 6. Right?
Well, they're ever the optimist.
Yeah, you are. What else?
Right, Fires of Battle. Use this stratagem in your shooting phase or in your opponent's charge phase. When a Salamander's model from your army shoots with a flame or melt weapon, until the end of that phase, when resolving an attack made with that weapon, on an unmodified roll of 4 plus the target suffers 1 mortal wound in addition to any other normal damage.
What?
Do you like it?
Situational, but it's freaking awesome.
Yeah. Some nice stratagems there, peeps. Very nice. One that I think is really, really cool. Immolation Protocol. 1 command point. Use this stratagem in your shooting phase. When a Salamander's unit from your army is chosen to shoot with, until the end of that phase, change the type of all flame weapons models in that unit are equipped with to pistol. E.g. an assault D6 flame weapon becomes pistol D6. You're flaming people in hand to hand.
Nice.
With not pistols, but flames. Burn, and then
weird. This
strength of the Primarch in that attack.
Yeah. This Codex, you have to know your stratagems, but once you learn them, I think there seems to be a stratagem for every little situation. So situations you might not even consider. So a lot of people obviously forget about the pistols in combat, and all of a sudden you're not going to forget about that if you've got a super duper flamer pistol in combat.
Yeah, just using flamers instead. Yeah, very nice. Any that you picked out there?
No, I was down with you, brah.
Yeah, we agree for once. Look at that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Coming together.
Coming together. No, not usually one for big on the psychic, but some of these were quite nice also as well. Fire Shield for me stood out. Fire Shield has a warp charge value of 6. If manifested, select one friendly Salamander unit within 18 inches of the site until the start of your next sighting phase. When resolving an attack made with a ranged weapon against that unit, subtract 1 from the hit roll. In addition, when a charge roll is made for a charge that the unit is a target of, subtract 1 from the result as well. It's nice, it's tasty. Just keep away. Just, you're not getting those hits on us. You might actually fail your charge. Oh, by the way, you're in range of your flame weapons. Toast time.
Very nice. It's so small that it could just be a huge game changer.
It's jinxy, isn't it?
-1 hit. Oh, it's a bit annoying. Oh yeah, -1 your charge. Oh.
That's getting a bit more annoying.
And how many times have you rolled the dice and got the exact amount you need, and then someone just goes, Fire Shield.
Yeah, thank you very much.
You'll slap that person.
Drake's Skin was the one for me.
Okay.
Drake's Skin has a warp charge value of 6. If manifested, select one friendly Salamander's unit within 12 inches of the site. Until the start of your next sighting phase, add 1 to the toughness characteristics of models in that unit.
That is an anti-marine psychic power, isn't it? So someone's shooting you with 20 strength 4s, they're going to hit you on 3s, they're going to wound you on 4s, and you're just going to negate 1/3 of those wounds.
Staying power yet again.
For a, was it a value of 6? Yeah.
Any of those you picked out? Or you were pretty much in agreement with myself there?
I did weigh them. Like a surprise. No, I'm joking. No, them two were the ones I would have picked.
Yeah. But overall, yet again, that literally says we are going to stand here,
Funny name time.
we're going to burn you, and we're not going away, and then once we burned you, whatever's left of the ashes, we're going to come and stamp on and hit with big nasty things, and then burn your mates behind you as well, so love it. Absolutely love it. And obviously you've got the name generators in there. Would you like to pick one up?
I'm going to go for Perrette Shen.
Sounds like a medical condition. Say the doctor about that now. I will.
Okay.
So, that's the Codex.
So what do you think they do well? I know we never really do this.
Burn!
Apart from screaming burn at the people at home.
Burn, and stability, and I think they've got a little notch on the hand as well.
So I think them being Marines, they can put out firepower from the back end, and they don't get a lot of support within the Codex for that, but they can do it well anyway. And then one of their biggest weaknesses is that 12-inch range. So you'll get a lot of bolt gun fire within 12-inch if you're a Marine player. And it's 1 turn's worth. But these guys get all of that, and they can be charged confidently. So you have all the flame weapons going off. You've got the melters if you get close enough to the tanks, and then the staying power of the characters if you build them right. It's cray. And they hit hard, man. They all hit hard. They've all got bloody power fists and thunder hammers and what.
They hit like a volcano, literally.
Out of 10, what would you guys do?
I'm going to give that an 8.
An 8.
Yes, I like the law.
Tell me why.
Just everything in that Codex, that supplement there, in that tome, that document. The flavour's nice. There is so much selection in the stratagems, in the war gear options, in the characters, in the psychic powers. There's so much actually from a flavoursome point of view. You can chop and change and get bits and do it differently, and it'll still work.
Yeah, we're both outsiders to Salamanders as well. So seeing it from an enemy point of view, I would also give it an 8.
Oh, that's a good high score then.
I think I would fear these on the table. I think they're going to get... All the back line is going to do what they do, and then they're going to get within that 12-inch bubble where they're going to have 1 turn of serious hitting, and they're going to hurt. And I think usually you get a chance within 1 turn to hurt, but all the buffs they get is just reroll this, reroll that, automatic hit here, and just that 12-inch bubble is going to hurt. And if you survive it, brilliant, you're going to win the game. Actually, it's not even guaranteed because you're going to take the characters out. But if you survive it, you're doing well, I guess, is probably what I'm going to
If you're not on fire
settle with.
and you haven't reached the extinguisher, you're alright.
I think an 8 is strong here. 8. I think you'll see them in the competitive scene. I think GW will probably double the price of their green paint, and you'll see a fair few of them.
Overall, this has really been a nice Codex. I'm very, very surprised, happy To be honest with you, when these two Codex, the Imperial Fist and the Salamanders Codex, came out at the same time, my initial efforts were drawn towards the Imperial Fist. So devastated that wasn't what I was expecting to be. This has highly outlived my expectations. That is great. I'm going to go and get some Salamanders and have a big player. That's fantastic. Guys, hopefully, if you guys are and girls are going to go out and get this at home and you have a read through, let us know. Let us know what you think of the Codex. Anything that we've missed it's in there, or you agree with us on any of the points. Also, while you're on as well, please do go out and check out all the Codex reviews on previous videos. Please do like, subscribe, hit the notifications, and Anth, any final words there? Apart from burn.
Burn.
Burn, baby, burn. This is CQ Gaming. I'm Steve.
Mostly Anth.
Sometimes we'll catch you again.
Bye now.